Another thing I want to touch on is that um, True Talent and Rosie, I'm fans of both of them. But they, something worth mentioning is they come from fighting games, and I'm speaking mostly to True on this one because he's talked about this a lot before. But True, I guess he's kind of okay with Spirit being like a big 50-50 killer. He's constantly talking about, she's a mind game killer. The way you play her and against her is through, mind games and, what's the word he always says? Conditioning and stuff like that. And that's all good, like mind games are important for Dead by Daylight. It's a fundamental part of the game. But I mean, it's just she's too much. There's too much 50-50 in there. Her playing against Spirit is just like a big 50-50. And playing against Deathslinger is just holding W and getting as much distance as you can, making your movement unpredictable, whatever, but it's not direct counterplay. You're just holding forward, hoping he misses, just moving crazy, So that's what I think about those two killers. But another thing I actually want to touch on, which I want to another thing I want to touch on is, True Talent and Rosie and myself, like a bunch of people, we're talking, when we talk about issues in the game or things we don't agree with or whatever, we're talking about the highest level of play, because we're talking about rank 1, playing at the highest level, because that's where the game is most unbalanced, right? But the thing is, what I find hypocritical about True Talent is, he's constantly talking about, survival friend. Like, he's basically always talking about how unbalanced the game is, And I agree with him. The game is strongly survivor favored most of the time, in my opinion. But he's always like, oh yeah, I'm talking about the highest level of play. I'm talking about if the survivors don't mess up, right? But then when he counterplays a Spirit, or, he's showing Spirit counterplay, it's either the Spirit messing up, or, or, I mean, if you could even call it that, it's just a 50-50. So, like, he's just, he'll win a few 50-50s or whatever, like, playing against Spirit is basically like playing an M1 killer in a map with only TNLs. It's just a bunch of 50-50s, you know what I mean? So, but once again, I encourage you guys, if you haven't watched Scott Jones' video, go watch it so you can kind of know what I'm talking about. Because I agree with everything he says in that video. I agree with everything he says. But anyways, so True, why are we talking about top percent survivors, but we're not talking about top percent Spirit? Like, how are you gonna post a video about counterplaying a Spirit? It's a rank 8 with, like, it's like a rank 8 with a rank 8 Spirit, Like, why? And, yeah, rank doesn't really matter, you're right. And rank doesn't even show how good you are at this specific killer. But, for example, I'm pretty confident that a tournament level top percent Spirit is gonna be downing everyone in, like, less than 30 seconds consistently, But anyways, so anyways, just to clarify, once again, because a lot of people get this confused, I'm not really calling for a nerf to Spirit or Deathslinger. I'm calling for a rework to make them fun to play against. The majority of players don't like playing against them, right? And just like I said, it's not necessarily because they are good, it's because of their chase gameplay. It's just not really in favor of the survivor, and there's just not enough counterplay. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that the survivors have to have the advantage in the chase. I'm not saying that because I understand, obviously the game's a 4v1. The killer has to be able to down quickly. I'm just talking about fun. I'm talking about fun, because Deathslinger's pretty trash in my opinion, and Spirit isn't even that as like super OP. Like it's just her chase. It's like her chase is so good, but everything else is just like trash, Also, that actually brings me kind of like to another point. A lot counter argument to quote unquote nerfing Spirit, which that's not what I want. I want a rework for their chase mechanics. A counter argument is, oh well, you can't nerf Spirit because survivors are, the game is so survivor sided. Fair enough, I get that, but I don't really like that ideology of fight fire with fire. Like, yeah, why are we gonna keep a bullshit killer like Spirit? Like a fucking Ruin Undying Strider Spirit. Why would we keep something so unfun that most of the community hates? And yes, I know most of the community is survivors, I know. But still, why would we keep something so unfun just to counter something that's bullshit in the first place, My question to Rosie and True, would you keep Spirit the same way she is right now if the game were balanced? If, tiles were more fair, and if gen speeds were slower and maps were smaller, would you still keep Spirit the way she is? Or do you just want Spirit to stay the way she is because, survival friends 4-mans are bullshit? That's my question, But anyways, so, like, I think another example of a killer that is really unfun to play against, and I hate playing against actually more than Deathslinger and Spirit, is the twins, right? And I actually think the twins arguably might be better than Deathslinger. But anyways, regardless, why do I hate playing against the twins? Well, the thing is that, and this is an important thing to touch on, with in general, and True said it, and I think a lot of people would agree, the most important or most fun part of the game for most people is chase, right? That's the most interactive part, it's the most fun part, it's the most skilled part, right? I guess, is that fair to say? And what do all these killers, Spirit, Deathslinger, twins, what do they all have in common? They really take away from the chase. Spirit, you don't know what the fuck's going on, you're just guessing, you can vault right into her, whatever. You don't ever know when she's phasing. Deathslinger, you can't even react at certain distances, and then it's just kind of a 50-50. And then twins is literally just a slugging machine. And I think Scott Jones said it best. Being slugged is like, he said it's the most boring thing for Survivor. I don't know if it's the most boring thing, but it's one of the most boring things for Survivor. And her playstyle is just literally at 5 gens, just start slugging. If you pip with twins, it's because you're playing against some bots probably. It's just slug. And I don't like that. Yeah, is twins a good killer? I think she's at least mid-tier. I think most people would agree with that. She's at least decent, because she creates so much pressure with slugging, with Victor, And, some people might be wondering, or might be thinking, like, about what her counterplay is, right? The counterplay to twins is super simple. And once again, I'm not saying that twins is OP, I'm just saying it's super unfun to play against. The counterplay to twins is to heal. That's literally it. Because if you heal, Victor can't snowball. Now, my question to everyone listening is that fun? Is holding M1, you know, just to counter a killer? Is that fun? Because, and the reason I say holding M1 is because, some people might be like, well, you have to hold M1 for generators. Yeah, but you have to, like, Twins' only counterplay is to heal. That, like, if you don't heal, if a team doesn't heal against Twins, they're gonna lose, okay? Now, here's my point, right? With Twins, you have to heal, right? Some people might say, well, you have to heal against, hit and run Wraith. You have to heal against Oni. You have to heal against or you have to get out of Dream World with Freddy. You have to cleanse with Plague. Those are all M1 actions, right? Well, yeah, but here's the difference. With Twins, you have no choice. You have to heal, right? With Freddy, it's a risk reward thing. Do you want to waste time and get out of Dream World to make him an M1 killer, or are you just gonna finish the gen? Are you just gonna stick the gen? With Wraith, if you're working on a generator with another survivor, right, and they're fully healed, are you gonna take the risk that Wraith might come and trust your teammate to take the hit, or are you gonna waste time healing and then do the gen? Oni, if there's one, yeah, you always want to heal against Oni, I get it, but Oni has to literally work for his power. He has to injure and collect blood. Twins just start slugging at like 5 gens, or whenever. Like, Twins is slugging constantly throughout the game. Oni's only slugging if he's in his power, which he had to gain, and if he has like infectious and stuff, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I don't want to stay on that too long, but hopefully I'm making sense. All right, so let's see, what else can I talk about? Okay, another thing I want to talk about, because I actually disagree with Rosie on this one, right? Because Scott Junn, once again, I agree with him on this one. I actually agree with him on most things, I'd say. Why is Spirit complained about and not Nurse? This is kind of a big one. I'm kind of thinking how I want to answer this. But, I mean, once again, if you're listening to this and you haven't watched Scott Junn's video on why people don't complain about Nurse instead of Spirit, go watch it. But basically, if Spirit and Nurse are really close in potential, like they're the two best killers in the game. No one can really argue that. There's no solid argument, I mean, some people might, I think most people can agree that Nurse and Spirit are the two biggest. Why do people complain about Nurse and not Spirit and not Nurse? Well, there's a few reasons. Number one, obviously, Nurse's skill ceiling is just so high. She literally takes hundreds of hours to get good at, and then one of the biggest things is also you can see what she's doing. It's interactive. For example, I'm gonna just give a perfect example, and I wish I could show a clip of it, but I can't. Line of sight breaking. Everyone watching this right now can go watch Rosie's 200 sub Kill Your Friend stream. It was a blast. I played with him, and we were playing against Hurricane Zach. He was playing Nurse. He did very well. Now, in the first, I think it's the first play of the game, I see that if Meg over there is Zach, he was Nurse, right? And he saw me, so I start running and I break line of sight, and then he blinks past me and I keep going. The reason I was able, everyone can go watch it right now. It's the game where the first game I got in, I'm pretty sure. and I was playing as Zac. My point is that I was able to counter Nurse right there because I could see what she's doing. I saw I saw that Zac wanted to blink after me. But if a Spirit's over there and I'm running away, here's where the issue lies. I don't know if they're phasing or not. I don't know if they're phasing or not. So that's, that's not fun. It's not fun. I can either start running back, try to throw her off or whatever, but then, oh wow, she wasn't phasing at all, for example. That's just not fun. A killer can be good at chase, like strong at chase, but be fun to play against. Demo with Save Best for Last and Rat Liver, strong in chase, fun to play against. Huntress, fun to play against, strong in chase. You know what I mean? With some other examples, like Old Hillbilly, I guess he's still fun to play against, but no one really knows how to play him. But yeah, Bubba, like you can make a powerful killer that's fun to play as, powerful, but not, bullshit or whatever. But anyways, I don't want to make this too long. But anyways, so Nurse, you can see what's going on. Also, there are less of them. You know what I mean? Like, if you couldn't go a day without playing against a top level Hag, everyone would hate Hag. You know what I mean? People hated Nurse back then more because more people played Nurse, but also she had so much like bullshit. Like, you could get up to like 7 blanks. Like, even bad players can succeed with her, and I feel like that's the case with Spirit. Spirit is the new Nurse. Like, you don't really have to be that good to win with her. But yeah, like, I mean, slight, I'm gonna go on a little anecdotal tangent here, but my first time getting to red ranks, I got there with Spirit. Like, I bought Spirit. Spirit pretty much carried me to red ranks. But anyways, like, it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just, you hit the survivor, and then it's basically, you just have to listen for them. That's all you gotta do. Actually, that leads to another thing that I want to talk about. Counters, right? Another reason I think that, Spirit, and I'm gonna use Twins as another example. Another reason I don't think they're really healthy for the game is because they have, Spirit, for example, can be hard countered by a perk, Iron Will. Twins can be hard countered by perks as well, like Unbreakable. Like, when you're constantly slugging, imagine if you have Ruin and everyone has Soul Guard, or if you don't have Ruin or whatever, everyone has like Unbreakable. So it's not really fun for like either side. When I play Spirit, well, I don't really play her as much. I don't really play her anymore, but because she's just not as fun for me anymore. But whenever I do play her, if I'm up against Iron Will, it's a pretty hard time because you can't hear them, obviously. You can still hear their footsteps, you can see their scratch marks, but you can't hear them. So it's basically a hard counter. How is that fun? A power that can be completely countered by a perk. Have you ever played Doctor against 4 Calm Spirits? That would fucking suck. You know what I mean? Playing Twins against 4 Unbreakables, that would suck. Playing Freddy against 4 objects, for example, that's these are extreme examples, but my point is that it's a power that can literally get countered by a perk. That doesn't seem like very good design to me, Alright, let's see what else I could, because I don't want to make this too long. Okay, so I guess I can start wrapping it up. because yeah, I guess I can start wrapping it up, and I guess I'll wrap it up with like constructive maybe ideas or something, right? Because at the beginning I said that I don't want to nerf Deathslinger. I don't want to nerf twins. I don't want to, well, I mean, I'm not even going to talk about twins. That's a whole other thing. But I don't want to nerf Deathslinger or Spirit. I want a rework, okay? And let me get more into specifics. When you're looking at a killer, when you're deciding how good a killer or how bad a killer is, how good or bad they are, you look at different aspects, obviously. You look at lethality, you look at map pressure, you look at stealth, all that stuff, right? Most killers have, you know, a good balance of, well, actually, I'm not even gonna say that, but a lot of killers have multiple, like, built-in aspects of what makes a killer good. For example, Deathslinger. Deathslinger has, I'm pretty sure, a 24 meter radius, right? But he has a really quiet tear radius. So he kind of doubles as a stealth killer. That makes him even more deadly. You know what I mean? That's why Monitor is arguably one of Deathslinger's best perks. I just had a fucking brain fart. I don't know what I was saying, but yeah. So Deathslinger demo, he comes out of his portals. He has undetectable. You know what I mean? Blight has his power, his rush, which he can use to traverse the map, or he can use it to break pallets. You know. But anyways, my point is my point is that I don't want Spirit and Deathslinger to get weaker, because, you know, that's definitely not what we need. You know, I'm not suggesting that they get weaker. I just want them to be more fun for both sides. So, for example, instead of making Spirit's chase so strong with such a low skill gap in comparison to Nurse, you know, instead of giving Spirit a Nurse level power with like 1/10 of the skill required, why not just, you know, increase other aspects of her? You know, she has no map pressure, she has no stealth. Well, she has a smaller Terriers, but still, why not just give her something else, you know? So that the chase can be more interactive for killer and survivor. You know, the killer doesn't have to just stand still at a pallet to get it down, which they can do, and the survivor doesn't have to be guessing. Let's make it, you know, let's change it up. You know, I don't really have any specific ideas. You know, I was thinking about it all day today because I knew I wanted to make this, you know, talk about this. But like, for example, right? I just thought about this today. Just like I pulled this out my ass. This is just an example of like something that what I mean about giving her other aspects. The same way, like kind of like how Demo comes out of his portals and he's undetectable to give him a little bit of a stealth. We can do something with that, like that with Spirit, you know? Like if we nerf, or not, if we like, I want to say nerf her chase, but I guess we would have to nerf her chase because it's too powerful and too what's the word I'm looking for? Uninclusive, I guess. Like, you're not really, the survivor is just guessing, you know? I forgot what word I was trying to use, but my point is let's give her more, for example, stealth or map pressure and just weaken her chase, you know? Like, for a Spirit to win, she has to like consistently down everyone in like 30 seconds or less. If you don't, you're fucked, you know? Like, why does it have to be so extreme? Like, why can't she have, you know, other things? You know, like with Demo, for example, his undetectable, I mean, I think it should be at least 4 seconds instead of 2. But like, imagine how much that would help him out, you know? He wouldn't have to rely on, you know, just his chase, you know? But, you know, for example, right? I think Scott Junn, in one of those videos I mentioned, or maybe another one, there was an idea about Spirit Because when you phase, you can't see the survivors. The survivor can't see you phasing. They just see where you started phasing at. What if during your phase, every few seconds or something, you can see this survivor and they can see you? You know what I mean? Like, so then it still allows for that mind game kind of gameplay. You know, interesting, but it's not completely guessing. You know, it's not completely guessing. You can't just stand there and get it down. You can't, you know, it's better to, like, I mean, I think it's just better, you know, like, that would be an idea. Or, like, some kind of, you know, at least, something to actually know when the spirit's phasing. Like, that would be a huge help, right? And then, on top of that, I think that, a minimum of, like, 3 seconds of phase, so that you can't just start phasing and then just stay in your place for like 1 second. No, like, what if you go into your phase and you have to be in it for at least 3 seconds or something like that? I don't know. Just throwing ideas out there. But, you know, the way her power is right now, for her to be actually fun to play against, she would literally have to be, like, I'm not even joking, she would have to, first of all, get rid of passive phasing, right? That's bullshit. It's just giving free hits for no reason. It's a free buff for no reason. She's already the strongest in the game, arguably. So, but like, for Spirit to be less bullshit than she is now, she would literally have to be like 105%. I'm not even joking. Like, that's how strong her chase is, you know? Yeah. But anyways, with Deathslinger, I'm not really sure. I really can't think of anything. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I haven't put too much thought into it, but I don't know what we could do to make Deathslinger more fun to play against without nerfing him. I'm sure that there's something, though, that we could do. You know what I mean? Like, what if we, like, it has to, I mean, the ADS time has to be increased. Like, I know it would just, a lot of people would get upset at that, but, you know, True, Rosie, me, Scott Junn, we might disagree on things, but we all just want true balance. We want real true balance in the game. And we want everyone to have fun. That's the point of the game. You know, it's not just the Deathslinger who has to have fun, it's the others, it's the survivors too, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know, maybe like make him 115, keep his small tear radius, but just make his ADS, like, for example, like, point, I don't know, like, I don't even know how fast it is, if it's like 0.1 or 0.2, just make it like, I don't fucking know, like 0.8 or something, maybe, because with 0.8, you can, like, for example, oh yeah, and increase his range too, like that 18 meter range, what kind of shit is that, you know, like, I don't know. I don't really play Deathslinger also, so, but anyways, just, long story short, Spirit and Deathslinger, make their chase more fun, give them something else to balance it out, you know? It's just not fun, man, dude. If you get a good, I mean, I know most, like, there's not a lot of good spirits out there. There's not a lot of good Deathslingers, let alone God Spirits and God Deathslingers. Actually, I mean, you can't even really call it a God Spirit, to be honest. But anyways, like, Deathslinger is super strong in chase. That's not his problem. A Deathslinger with Monitor and 8 stacks of Save Best for Last is just gonna completely dominate the chase aspect. Like, he's basically gonna be insta-downing on the right map. So let's give him something else. You know, let's give him something with map pressure, something, man. I don't know. But yeah, I hope to keep this discussion going. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna post this or not, but if I think it's okay, I'll post it. I might make like a part 2 to this if there's enough things that I feel like I missed or I want to say differently. But yeah, I mean, hopefully Rosie's watching this. You know, and hopefully, we can keep the conversation going. So yeah, if someone watched this, thank you for watching. Alright, peace.